Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world. Welcome you to Global TV's news cycle live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Judith Peters. On the news today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has nominated Abbas Balarabe as a ministerial replacement for the former Kaduna governor, Nasir El-Rufai. The replacement was convened in a letter read by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio at the plenary on Tuesday. Balarabe's name was read alongside Jamila Ibrahim and Ayodele Olawande as Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth respectively, who were earlier nominated by the President. The federal government has called for stakeholders' collaboration in the health sector towards improved access to health care. The Vice President Kashim Shettima made the call at a dinner organized in honor of the Special Advisor to the President on Health, Salma Anas Ibrahim, by the Southern Borno Stakeholders Forum in Abuja. He urged Nigerians to trust Anas while representing and expressing confidence that she will deliver on our job. In her remarks, Anas noted that President Tinubu was passionate about the health of women and children and that he was doing all he can to ensure health gets to them. She also called for support to ensure the success of the renewed hope agenda of the president. The coordinator African Health Budget Network, HBN Aminu Magashi, urged Anas to use her office to strengthen health. Provision Fund. As well, the FCT Police Command has paraded 25 suspected criminals arrested for various crimes in the territory. Parading the suspect, the Commissioner of Police FCT Command, Haruna Galber, wants the general public to be conscious with building on patent taxes commonly known as Kabu Kabu, which has been used for carrying criminal activities in the Federal Capital Territory. Kikelomo Okere has details.
Speaking on greatness, Olorunfemi, who was a victim of one chance that was not attended to at Maitama General Hospital, the Commissioner of Police says he has invited the Chief Medical Doctor of Maitama General Hospital for more investigation. He therefore other hospitals to attend to injured victims in distress while contacting the police for further clarification.
We've been repeatedly telling, even on press briefing, that medical doctors, what you need to do is that if you see somebody even with bullet wound, what you need to do is accept him in your hospital and alert the police. That is simple simplicity. There's nothing much more than that. As you alert the police, the man is being treated and the police will come there and do the needful. In this instant case we are talking about, we have already invited the CMD of the hospital to find out exactly whether what happened is true. So we're on that.
On the issue of the recent surge in cases involving alleged disappearance of main organs in the territory, the Commissioner of Police, who cautioned against false information and mob justice, urged residents to rely on the police for proper investigations.
This disappearance of male organ, that is only one we know. I think some people came across me last week or thereabout that they also heard about the disappearance of breast in Gwagwalada. We have not received such reports. I have not seen any breast disappearing. Even the male organ they are talking about, it is purely a psychological thing. And all the people that have been taken to the hospital, they have confirmed that the organ is active and intact. Thank you.
Some of the suspects paraded confessed to the crime which they were accused of.
Since when did you start this business?
Started August.
Huh?
August.
This year?
Yes, sir.
How many times have you operated?
6 times.
6 times?
Yes, sir.
Successfully?
Yes, sir.
Until you were caught?
Yes, sir.
How much have you made in this business?
I don't realize that the money is not sometimes 50,000.
and the first two, our vehicle engine got bad. It was out of the 4 we succeeded twice.
Now tell
So
me,
it's the second one that they got me.
okay, tell me how you feel now. I mean, if you look back at where you were and where you are now.
From and where you are.
I am not really happy about it. I'm really regretting the decision I took.
CP Aruna says the command has recorded significant achievement following swift response by the officers in their fight against crime in the FCT, while reiterating the commitment of the police to continue to protect the lives and properties of residents. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Meanwhile, the federal government is finalizing the development of the National Diphtheria Laboratory to conduct preliminary and confirmatory testing of the disease in the country. This is even as the government said there have been 13,204 reported suspected cases, out of which 8,406 were confirmed cases from 1,014 local government areas in 18 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, and Prevention, Ifedayo Aditife, disclosed this on Tuesday at a press briefing on the update of the disease in Abuja. He added that the government has undertaken a comprehensive approach that includes disseminating public health advisories through media engagement and webinars, developing and distributing diphtheria social and behavior change materials, and coordinating a stakeholders meeting for risk communications and community engagement. As well, the Department of Development Control, Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has issued a stern warning to the previous owners of 165 revoked properties in the FCT, cautioning them to refrain from any involvement with these lands to avoid potential prosecution. Mukhtar Galadima, the director of the department, gave the warning in Abuja on Sunday, while his team stopped at attempt by some former owners to carry out with development activities on the revoked land in Maitama, Abuja. He expressed concerns about these actions, especially in light of the land revocation orders, accompanied by security personnel, officials from the Development Control Department confiscated construction equipment discovered on the site, apprehended some of the workers for identification, and others to vacate the premises. It's worth noting that the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, has revoked 165 land plots in the FCT due to the non-development of these properties, citing continuous violations of the terms outlined in the relevant section of the Land Use Act. In response to these developments, Galadima emphasized that the FCTA was determined to prevent any attempt to return to the revoked plots and act accordingly. He also cautioned the public, stating that the FCTA would not only dismantle any structures on revoked properties, but also initiate legal proceedings against those involved. The West African Examination Council, WAEC, has initiated the 76th meeting of the Nigeria Examination Committee to deliberate on cases of malpractice and irregularities arising from the 2023 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for candidates. The body disclosed this on Tuesday via its official Twitter handle, now known as Hex handle. Earlier on Monday, WAEC appointed Amos Josiah Dongut as the head of the Nigeria National Office in August. The examination body initially released the 2023 WAEC results, but the outcome of 206,803 candidates were put on hold due to instances of examination malpractices. However, the body has assured candidates that information about their results will be communicated after the NEC meeting concludes its deliberation. The 76th meeting of the Nigeria Examination Committee, NEC, to consider and decide on the malpractice/irregularities cases arising from the conduct of WAEC from school candidates 2023 begins today. We are watching the Global TV's news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Startimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. When the news cycle returns, NDIC commences payment of liquefied liquidation dividends to prosecutors and other stakeholders of 20 banks in liquidation. We'll be back with details of these and other stories right after the short break. Please don't go away. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's still Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle from Nigeria's capital. Still on the news, where strong tremors were felt in Delhi Tuesday after multiple earthquakes hit Nepal. The first earthquake hit at 2:25 p.m. according to the National Center for Seismology. There was also a 5.2 magnitude earthquake in Arunachal Pradesh at 3:27 p.m. and a 3.3 magnitude disturbance in under-ranked minutes later. The epicenter for the strongest quake was 206 kilometers southeast of Joshimat in Undercut and 284 north of Lucknow. Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, is expected to plead not guilty to charges of illegal owning a handgun on Tuesday. Prosecutors alleged that Biden, 53, lied about his drug use on application forms when he purchased the weapon in 2018. Biden has acknowledged that he was a heavy user of crack cocaine at the time, but denies breaking the law. He faces up to 25 years in prison if convicted of the 3 federal counts. A proposed plea deal to resolve the charges apparently fell apart in July, meaning Biden was indicted shortly after he was charged with 2 counts of making false statements and 1 count of illegal gun possession. It charges all relate to his purchase of a revolver at a Delaware gun store in October 2018, which he kept for around 11 days. 2 of the criminal counts against him, each punishable by up to 10 years, stem from the allegation that Biden lied about his drug use on the forms. A 3rd count related to his possession of a firearm, while a drug user is punishable by up to 5 years in a court filing in September, in which his legal team unsuccessfully saw a virtual, not in-person court appearance. Biden's attorney, Abelal, said that his client would enter a plea of not guilty. It will appear in a federal courthouse in the Wilmington, Delaware, which is the hometown of the Bidens. Indonesia President Joko Widodo on Monday inaugurated a $7.3 billion high-speed railway connecting a country's capital with the city of Bandung, a China-backed project that has been marred with problems. The 142 kilometers, 88.23-mile railway, one of the president's flagship infrastructure projects and part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, has faced problems ranging from land procurement issues, pandemic-related delays, and ballooning costs. The maximum operating speed of the train use could reach 350 kilometers per hour, Jokowi said, calling it the modernization of the country's mass transportation that is environmentally friendly. Lohut Patjatan, a senior minister overseeing the project, said at the launch that free trial rides on the bullet train, which have been underway since the 2nd week of September, will be extended and ticket prices will be implemented in mid-October. Following what it termed impressive recoveries from debtors and realization of assets banks in liquidation, the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, has announced declaration of 16.18 billion naira liquidation dividends to depositors, creditors, and shareholders of 20 banks in liquidation. This is contained in a statement signed by the Director of Communications and Public Affairs, Bashir Nuhu. The statement reels out that the corporation has commenced verification and payment of stakeholders covered by the declaration within 30 days, starting from 28 September 2023. It is instructive to note that the ongoing payment is equal to earlier payment of various sums, which cumulatively amounted to 45.45 billion naira as liquidation dividends in respect of the 20 banks as at July 2023. Relevant stakeholders have been requested to visit any of the NDIC's offices closer to them or go to the claims page on the corporation's website. Still on business news, where as part of the agreement of the federal government and the labor unions, the government has decided to approve a significant sum of 100 billion naira for the high-capacity CNG buses to bolster the transportation sector. The plan was unveiled yesterday as part of the palliative measures to alleviate the petrol subsidy plan and paid during the meeting with NLC and TUC. The decision also encompasses the distribution of 55,000 CNG conversion kits to initiate an autogas conversion initiative while waiting for the ongoing construction of advanced CNG stations across the country. According to the federal government, the plan will be unveiled within the next month with pilots across 10 campuses nationwide. The agreements were reached at the rescheduled parley at the State House in Abuja last night. The full agreements were contained in a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) signed by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Bako Lalong, Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Oyeje-Ucha, and Minister of Information and National Orientation, Malam Mohammed Idris, NLC and TUC President Joe Ajero, and Festus Osifo, with the NLC General Secretary Emmanuel Ukwajer and his TUC counterpart Nuhu A. Toro signed for Labour. Also, the Nigeria Stock Exchange NGX All-Share Index appreciated by 29.52% to close at 382.14 index points in the third quarter of 2023. These developments has pushed the market to its 15-year high on the back of strong positive sentiment. Analysts attributed the rally to the policies of the new administration of President Bola Tinubu, the harmonization of different exchange rates, and the floating of the naira, despite concerns such as rising inflation, interest rate hikes, and apprehension surrounding the fallout of the 2023 general election. Investor confidence remains strong, leading to increased buying activity. The positive sentiment among investors can be attributed to several factors, including peaceful transition to power following the 2023 elections, favorable policies introduced by President Bola Tinubu's new administration, such as the removal of fuel subsidies, streamlining of exchange rates, and the floating of the naira. The federal government has unveiled strategies to increase funding for Nigerian tech startups to $5 billion annually by the year 2027. The Minister of Communications, Innovations and Digital Economy, Bosu Tijani, disclosed this in his ministry draft strategic blueprints released on Monday. According to him, from around $1.2 billion in funding recorded in 2022, the government would ensure a 50% increase in funding every year to achieve a $5 billion target by 2027. While most Nigerian startups are currently sourcing their funding from foreign investors, Tijani said the government would drive an increase in local funding. According to him, the intent is to create an environment for startups to raise the funding they require to thrive locally and promote the domiciliation of startups within the country. And now in sport, Victor Osimhen will aim to continue his newfound goal-scoring run of form with another goal in the UEFA Champions League when Napoli hosts record winners Real Madrid at the Diego Maradona Stadium today. Osimhen has scored 64 times, making 15 assists from Napoli in 109 games across all competitions since completing his record. €70 million and African record 3 years ago from Lille. The 24-year-old will also seek to add to his tally in the Champions League against Real Madrid. The former Lille and Sporting Chalero striker has scored 5 times and will look to equal Ahmed Musa's scoring record, 6 goals in the competition. Speaking ahead of the game, Napoli captain Giovanni Di Lorenzo has warned Real Madrid, insisting Osimhen hasn't changed. The Italy international spoke at a press conference at the eve of today's Champions League game. Despite Di Lorenzo's comments, several Italian reports claim Osimhen's Napoli future remains uncertain despite his latest Instagram message. As well, the season 8 winner of the Big Brother Naija reality TV show, otherwise known as All Stars Edition, Ilebaye Odinia, has promised to make good use of her 120 million prize money. Speaking during the prize presentation on Tuesday, Ilebaye thanked Big Brother organizers, her family, and other sponsors of the show. The 22-year-old reality TV said, "I'm really happy to be your star and to make housemates. Thank you guys so much, and I promise to make you guys proud. I promise not to disappoint you guys. I promise to make sure I am the good use of the money. Thank you guys so much. I love you all." The keys to a brand new white Inozo G5T car was also presented to Ilebaye on stage along with a 120 million check courtesy of Money Point Nigeria. Messi, CC, and other All-Stars housemates were seen hugging and congratulating Ilebaye after the presentation ceremony. And that's on entertainment. This is a wrap on the Global TV news cycle at 6, and it came to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Judith Peters. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you again. Good evening.